Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bangers, Bops, and Banter. This is episode 42 of the podcast. We're like 10 episodes away from like a whole year.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Go us. We're so cool.
Jeez. Yeah. We got... Wait. Oh, yeah. I have to introduce people first. I'm one of your hosts, Joe. I'm here with the co-host, Brendan.
Hi, I'm your co-host, Brendan.
And we have a guest.
I don't know why I was waving like they can see me.
They can. There's a camera in your room.
Well, you can. There's in my room.
Yeah.
My name's Kobe.
It's right behind you.
Oh, my name's
We're
Kobe.
right behind
and
you.
Guys. I know we're excited. I know we're pumped. It's a Monday. I got it. Let me get there. My name is Kobe, and I almost hit 3 people on campus with my car, and 2 of them were on accident.
So you're saying that you missed?
I'm not a good driver. Right.
Damn. All right.
Okay.
Well.
Sorry.
Okay.
Couldn't think of a good one.
He's an attempted murderer, but we still love him. So.
Keep asking me back, guys. I don't know. I don't know, guys.
All right. We got a cool show coming up. Maybe. Who knows? It's, 50-50. Toss a coin.
I feel like we have more uncool shows than cool shows.
I've never met a podcasting. Well, I haven't met that many podcasting duos. I've never met 2 people who make stuff and put it on the internet or out in like public who hate their work more than you two. And I'm so serious about that.
No, we don't hate it. We just think it's bad.
The podcast is easily our worst piece of content.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's literally just a group of friends like bullshitting for an hour.
Yeah, that's what people want nowadays.
I guess.
But yeah. So we have some music and movie news coming up. We have a lot of stuff related to the Grammys and the Oscars. And afterwards we're going to talk about the Deftones album White Pony. And then we're going to discuss the film The Discreet Charm of the Bourgeoisie. So yeah. Let's get into the news. Grammys. They're bad. But you already knew that. Okay, the Grammys weren't they weren't the worst. Right. I think they made some alright choices. There's certainly ones that I like. Fiona Apple won Best Rock Album and Best Rock Performance, which I think is great. There's some stuff that I really wish won that didn't. Record of the Year was Everything I Wanted by Billie Eilish.
Fine.
It's fine. It's okay. I know she. I think in a statement afterwards, she was like, "I wish Megan Thee Stallion won."
She said that on stage. She said that.
Oh,
on
she did.
Stage.
Okay.
I don't know if she said it afterwards too, but she was on stage and she was like, she literally was like, she went to the line of saying that the people who voted were wrong, and then didn't say the people who voted were wrong. She was like, it should be Megan Thee Stallion, but she didn't say you guys are fucking wrong, right?
Yeah, I was hoping for Dua Lipa, but
yeah,
it doesn't seem like that's the case. Honestly, Record of the Year wasn't bad overall. I think most of the songs there are pretty solid, so I'm not super upset. Album of the Year went to Folklore by Taylor Swift. Fucking, of course it did.
What are the other options?
We have Chilombo by Jhené Aiko.
Jhené Aiko.
Black Puma's Self-Titled. Everyday Life by Coldplay. Jessie, Volume 3 by Jacob Collier. Women in Music Part 3 by Haim. Future Nostalgia by Dua Lipa, and Hollywood's Bleeding by Post Malone.
It was only ever going to go to that Taylor Swift record.
Yeah, I wanted Future Nostalgia to win really badly. I think Folklore's pretty overrated, personally. I think it's produced like shit. Like, the production on the album sucks so much. It is the cleanest fucking folk record I've ever heard. It's insane how
Folk
just
records,
sterile it is. It's so annoying to me.
I haven't heard it, but I don't just hearing you say clean folk record, just that doesn't make. I don't like my folk records cleanly produced. I haven't heard this album yet, but
Kobe, do you listen to The National at all?
No, sir.
Okay, never mind then.
Sorry.
I don't know. I like Folklore. I'm not like a huge fan. It's probably like my second or third favorite album in that category though. So
it's like an okay choice. I don't know. I would have rather gone to Jesse Volume 3 as well, because I wasn't a big fan of the Jacob Collier record, but like it's clear he has a ton of talent, and that record's super creative in a lot of ways.
I suppose I was not really a fan of that record. It's probably actually one of my least favorite in this category. I mean, it's better than Hollywood's Bleeding, but that's not hard.
I think it's like a pretty interesting, like weird genre mashup. I think it has problems, but I definitely think there's a ton of potential for Jacob to just like create an incredible album. And I mean, Future Nostalgia, like one of the best pop records of the year, easily. Great album. It should have won.
Category. Yep.
Easily best album in the category. But yeah. Song of the year went to I Can't Breathe by Her, which I actually think is a fair choice. I'm fine with that winning. I think there's actually a lot of good choices in the Song of the Year too. You have Dua Lipa with Don't Start Now, Circles by Post Malone, The Box by Roddy Ricch. But I'm pretty cool with I Can't Breathe. I think it's a solid choice. Best New Artist is Megan Thee Stallion, who's been around for like 3 or 4 years at this point, so I don't, this is just how they work.
Yeah.
Oh man. The Grammys haven't heard of her, so she's new.
It's like Phoebe Bridgers is nominated, and she released like her second album. This year, and like her first album wasn't like unknown or anything. It's so weird.
People like something else.
I don't really get Best New Artist. I don't know what they define as new.
It's more for like the breakthrough artists. Best new breakthrough artist.
Yeah, they should rename it to Breakthrough Artist, because that would make more
sense. Yeah, I think I saw somewhere that like Elton John was going to be pissed if Phoebe Bridgers didn't win. So I'm curious what he's going to do now. Like, is he going to set something on fire? What's he going to do?
I mean, I don't know. Personally, I'm fine with Megan Thee Stallion winning. I think she's a solid choice here, even if it's weird to nominate
kind of an old head, so
for the category. He is. Oh my god, Elton John's kind of a boomer in his music taste.
I will say though, I fuck with Punisher, so
I do really enjoy Punisher.
I fuck with Punisher.
I think it's a solid like folk indie record. So yeah. Best pop solo performance is Watermelon Sugar by Harry Styles. I would have preferred this going to Dua Lipa, but I actually think that's probably the second best choice in this category.
Probably.
Watermelon
Sugar
Sugar
even win anything? She didn't, did
Dua
she?
Lipa, yes, she did. She won best pop solo album.
Oh, she did? Okay.
I believe.
That's good.
Let me find it. Or best pop vocal album, I mean.
Okay.
She did, which is good. I think she definitely deserves to win.
She deserved more.
Fucking Folklore was nominated for best pop vocal album. Like, whoa! Grammys, what are you doing?
Let's go, dude. I really should get around to listen to that album if it's got this much like hype around it.
Yeah, a lot of people really love it.
And you're not one of them.
I'm definitely not one of them.
Listen to Folklore and Evermore because people like them.
Oh, they're a duology, aren't they?
Yeah,
sort of.
I'm just like, I don't know. I got a bit annoyed about it because like there's so many. There were like a bunch of like there are a bunch of incredible folk albums that released last year. But just like everyone was like, oh, the Taylor Swift record though. It is the Taylor Swift record. Let's go.
Who was nominated for? Is there a folk album? I don't fucking give two shits about the Grammys.
We will check the folk category.
I've always just had the Grammys as like a thing that cares about rock, what they consider to be rap.
I don't even know if they have,
and like
they
pop.
might. I suppose they might not have a folk category.
I didn't think they did.
Yeah, they don't have like a single folk category. They have like Americana and stuff like that, but not folk.
Wait, where was it? I know Laura Marling was nominated. I don't remember what category it was for.
Okay.
She didn't win, but she fucking should have.
This is gonna be a stupid question. When did that new Fleet Foxes record drop?
That was after the cutoff.
Okay, so that didn't make the cutoff?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
So it couldn't have been nominated. Yeah. They're not. I don't think it would have.
Fuck.
Anyways.
It's the last folk album release that I paid attention to, if I'm honest, which is very bad.
I mean, that's fine.
It's a good album.
You want some hot new recommendations for folk? You like noise folk? I've been really on a noise folk kick recently.
Like what? I don't think I've ever really listened
to noise folk.
Yeah, like what bands? I'm saying.
Oh, Natural.
Have you heard of Daughters?
One of my favorites.
I have heard of Daughters.
Not noise
I do like Daughters. You know I like Daughters.
No, Natural.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I've been really into that I've been into that AJJ record recently.
Hey,
that recent release. I like me some AJJ. I'll say that.
Oh,
they're like folk punk. They're folk punk.
They're folk punk. Yes.
I keep getting AJJ.
I'm really bad with the genre thing. I'm bad with nailing those down.
I keep getting AJJ confused with AJR, and I was like, why the fuck?
No.
For a sec.
No, sir. Not that one.
You don't like AJR? Come on, dude.
They have that really cool song where the lead singer is like, it's a song for his daughter, and you're like, oh, that's sweet. And then it turns out that his daughter hasn't been born yet, which, okay, that's still sweet. But he also, he hasn't even met the person he's gonna have his daughter with yet. Like, she's not. It's not like he has like a wife or a girlfriend who's pregnant. And he's excited. No, he literally, it's just like, I have to find your mother first, though. And literally, that's it. One of the most horrid songs I've ever heard. Like, absolute dog shit. Jesus Christ.
What's fucked up? I was gonna say there's like a couple AJR songs that I don't mind. I don't listen to them, but I'm not like militant in my dislike of them. I have a lot of friends that really like AJR too. I have a lot of friends.
I'm sorry for them. I'm sorry.
They, with all due respect to them, because I know they're watching.
Yeah.
With all due respect to them, they're, from what I understand of it, is like two people that like AJR. In total, their music taste is very. They have very inoffensive taste. They're like, they're kind of into that bland sort of pop thing. Like,
oh, are they like Imagine Dragons?
I think that's one of them. But the band I was going to
who
cite
doesn't love Imagine Dragons?
The band I was going to cite is one of them is really into like Maroon 5.
Oh, no.
So it's like really kind of bland. I'm trying to give them, because I don't have like super extreme music taste.
Just
like,
show them clipping.
I think they will fucking blow up if I show them clipping. This is a very
fucking music.
From what I understand, I'll send them the piano burning video. From what I understand, this is a very pro clipping podcast. You guys have much more extreme music taste than I do. I would say I'm starting to expand my boundaries a little more. I'd say you guys are farther extreme than I am. But I have more extreme music taste than them, so I'm trying to slowly give them more stuff to listen to. So I gave one of them my playlist, which is like a massive playlist. It's just a bunch of bullshit in it. Like, it's all over the place in terms of genre and like moods and stuff. And I gave it to one of my friends, and I asked her, I was like, so what do you think of it? And she said, and I said, She goes, I like some of it. And I went, oh? She goes, there's parts of it I don't like. And I'm thinking she probably got a Swans song or two. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? What the
my God.
Is this?
Swans are so good, though.
But you have to know.
I get it.
You need to know you're about to listen to Swans, because if you don't know you're about to listen to Swans, it's like getting punched in the throat.
Yeah.
It's fucking out of nowhere.
Like, when I'm in the mood for a Swans album, it hits.
You need it, for sure. Totally agree.
Any other time.
That oh God, what's the name of the most recent Daughters record?
Oh, You Won't Get What You Want.
Love that record. I've told this story to you guys, I think in private. I don't think I've said it on the podcast. I was listening to that record in the grocery store while shopping for sparkling apple cider for my drama department. And I swear on my life, I was listening to it, and I almost bumped into this woman, and I almost cold cocked her. I almost fucking beefed her with like a punch. I was so in the zone. That album gets you to a place. It was broad daylight in October. I almost duffed her. I was in the fucking seltzer aisle. I almost duffed her.
I'm just thinking like, just the image of you, and not just listening to Daughters while shopping, but specifically getting cider. Like,
I'm not a violent person. I really am a passive person. I avoid conflict. That Daughters album gets you to a place. Like, almost fucking folded this old man that cut me off. Almost folded him.
Oh man.
Were we talking about the Grammys?
Yeah, we were.
Sorry.
We still had it was a fun tangent. There's some other. It was. Yes. It was entertaining.
Anytime we get to talk about Daughters is fun.
There's other winners that I guess I want to go over. Rain on Me, Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande won for Best Pop Duo Group / Group Performance, which I think is fair. Best Dance / Electronic Album went to Bubba by Kate Trinata. I haven't actually listened to it. I
think that's the only one in that category I haven't listened to. Okay. I meant to listen to it, but I just never got around to it.
I've heard a lot of good about it. I'm just disappointed it won over Kick Eye. Yeah. Which is pretty disappointing, but Best Rock Performance went to Shamika by Fiona Apple. Best Metal Performance went to Bumrush by Body Count. This is Ice-T's band, by the way.
What?
Is that true?
Yeah, he won his first Grammy in 30 years.
Wow. Let's go, Ice-T.
Yeah.
What was his last one? Was it 6 a.m?
I don't know.
I feel like it was probably 6 a.m.
I just saw the headline for it. I didn't actually look into it.
He has a metal band?
Yeah, the Body Count. I used to check him out. I hadn't looked into them at all.
I'm really subtly Googling.
I have to say, I'm pretty disappointed that it didn't go to Power Trip. I think it would have been really nice to give it to Power Trip since their vocalist passed away last year. Mm-hmm. And also, that song is amazing. Brittany Howard won Best Rock Song with Stay High.
Yep.
Which is
cool.
Fair. Pretty cool. Best Rock Album is The New Abnormal by The Strokes.
I just Googled that. I'm so excited. I love that record. I love that record.
Good. I'm glad. I'm pretty happy that one. I wouldn't have minded the Michael Kiwanuka record either, though. Yep. It's a pretty solid choice.
Mm-hmm. I love that record, though.
Best Alternative Music Album is Fetch the Bolt Cutters, which, duh.
Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
Best R&B Performance went to Black Parade by Beyonce. It was nominated for Record of the Year, so of course, makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Best Progressive R&B Album. They need to fucking change this category name. They need to get rid of this category, actually. But
yep.
It Is What It Is by Thundercat, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
Surprisingly, did not go to Jenny Aiko.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Since she was nominated for Record of the Year, so.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. John Legend won Best R&B Album with Bigger Love. Then Best Rap Performance is Savage, Megan Thee Stallion featuring Beyonce, which I think is fair. That's definitely the best out of... Well, actually, it's probably the best out of all of these. Best melodic rap performance. I didn't know this was a category.
It doesn't sound real.
Lockdown by Anderson .Paak, which is pretty cool.
Best teeth in the game.
Yeah. Best. Man, this is weird. Anderson .Paak won best melodic rap performance, but the Box was also nominated for that, which is interesting. The Box was also nominated for song/record of the year. So, best rap song is Savage, Megan Thee Stallion featuring Beyonce.
She's had a nuts year.
Yeah,
Megan Thee Stallion's had a crazy year.
I'm pretty happy for her. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Best rap album went to Nas with King's Disease. I heard a lot of good about King's Disease. I just wasn't interested in listening to it. This,
it's a really funny sentence to me.
That's like I don't know, man. Whenever I want to listen to Nas, I just go back to Illmatic. So,
yeah. and that's fair. And you got to be in the mood to listen to Nas.
Yeah. It did win over Alfredo by Freddie Gibbs. Freddie Gibbs and the Alchemist.
Dude, I love that record. I haven't listened to that Nas album either, but I really do like that Freddie Gibbs record.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are going to be really annoyed about that.
It's a really good record.
Yeah. Run the Jewels wasn't nominated, which pisses me off still. But
that's nuts. That was a good record.
And I think that's basically it. There's a bunch of country stuff, but like,
who cares?
I don't really care.
Who cares? Unless Johnny Cash comes back from the dead, I don't really care. I love a story though.
I think that is pretty much it for Grammys.
All right.
I'm sensing a lot of disappointment in the room.
Nah, I mean, it's the Grammys. I can't say I was expecting anything. So
yeah,
I'm happy that Fiona Apple won. That's all I care about.
I don't watch the Grammy. I haven't watched the Grammys in a long time, and especially not since I've started. Started to like, especially not since I've started to try and wire myself in a little bit more to the music I'm listening to. But isn't it true that they just throw one bone out a year to the indie fans? They throw like one bone, and this year it was Fiona Apple. Is that false?
Not really.
I don't know. They kind of just choose what's popular.
Like. Okay. Yeah. That's why the Heist won over like T-Pab, right? What did the Heist beat?
It beat Good Kid, Mad City.
Oh my god, that's so ridiculous.
Taylor Swift won over T-Pab. And I mean
Kendrick Lamar, that's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, and then Bruno Mars won over Damn, which I still think Damn was probably the best out of those records that was nominated. I don't think that being said, that year I think the best artists or the best record category is actually pretty stacked. The Bruno Mars record was like still pretty good, so I wasn't super unhappy with it.
T-Pab is like critically regarded as one of the best albums of all time.
Yeah.
And it lost Grammys. Which Taylor Swift album did it lose to?
1989. Which I will admit is like it's a good record
album.
It's a good album. It's just not even fucking close to being as good as T-Pab.
No. Like, listen, I have not listened to Taylor Swift really ever. I don't know why. I don't know. Probably good reasons. But reasons that work for me. I don't know. I've just never listened to her. She seems fine. But that Kendrick Lamar album should have fucking won. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. I can't wait for Kendrick to release his album this year, and then he's going to be snubbed again. Because of course he is.
Could be like The Weeknd. He won't even get nominated.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was nuts too. I haven't heard that album, but that was nuts.
Speaking of The Weeknd, The Weeknd's going to be boycotting the Grammys from now on. He's just like, nah.
All right.
He's literally not allowing his label to submit music to them. So.
Wow.
Yeah. Which good. More people should do that.
Yeah.
Is After Hours good?
Yes, it is. It's a pretty solid record.
Okay.
It's kind of insane that it didn't get nominated for anything. It was literally the most popular record of last year, and it had I forget it's
Blinding Lights.
Blinding Lights was in the top 10 on Billboard the entire year.
Oh my god!
Literally the entire year.
Why did he get snubbed?
Or
like that?
Not the entire last year, but for a full year.
Why did he get snubbed like that though?
I don't know. It's insane. Especially because like I think if Blinding Lights was nominated, it should have easily won record and song of the year because like, it's an amazing song.
You can't even say he's not mainstream because he is now.
Like he's very mainstream.
He was literally
the most popular artist last year.
Yeah, like he's on TikTok. Like he's mainstream. Like I don't get it. Is it because of the hair? His hair's dumb. I'll say that.
What is his hair looks great. What are you talking about?
Sorry. I don't know.
He's literally like right now on Spotify he has 74 million monthly listeners.
I don't get how he got snubbed like that. Like there has to be one there has to be at least one jobber in any given category that he could absolutely just take the spot of. Even just give him a nomination. Like, that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
I guess he just wasn't progressive R&B enough.
Whatever the fuck progressive R&B means.
I don't know what that is.
It's whistleblower speak for urban contemporary.
Got it.
It's literally they just renamed urban contemporary progressive R&B.
Got it.
Instead of doing the thing that people were asking them to do, which is remove the category, because it's literally just where they put the black artists, like literally. It's so dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, moving on from the Grammys, we got a bit more music news. Firstly, there's a story that I found that's really interesting. So there is this rapper called FN Mecca. They just released a new single called Speed Demon.
Sure.
They're a robot. Like they're an AI.
Cool.
And the thing that I find interesting is I know, Brendan, we talked about that Oxymon record a while ago, and that was like not passable, like at all. Like you knew it was an AI. I listened to the track that the AI made. I don't actually know how they make the music because it is like made by like a team of people, I believe. But to my knowledge, the person who is doing the vocals is an AI. And if you didn't tell me they were an AI, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. I would think it's a person. Actually, the single's called Speed Demon. You can check it out. It's not like a good single or anything. It's very like boring trap rap. But it's genuinely really impressive that like I basically guarantee that if you just like played the song for someone, they would not be able to tell that they're a robot. It's pretty interesting. It's apparently for an NFT collaboration though, so like listen to it at your own risk. Just if you don't want to support NFTs, maybe don't check it out. But yeah. Yeah. And lastly, in music news, before the podcast, I like just saw the story and I was like, "Holy shit, that's insane!" Drake has made a record-breaking debut at number 1, number 2, and number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 with his new Scary Hours 2 EP.
That's impressive.
Why isn't he here? Why didn't you get him? Why am I here? What?
I don't know. You can ask. You can send an email to Drake's. Send an email to Drake's management team to get him on the podcast.
I got him. I got his PO box.
Let's go. But yeah, holy fuck. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's nuts.
That's
like
insane.
Yeah, that's really, really crazy.
Yeah, so this is like
the EP is only 3 tracks long, by the way.
Yeah.
So, all 3 of them are the top
really
3.
Impressive.
Yeah. So this is the first time this happened like ever. He's also the 3rd artist to occupy the top 3 slots at once, the other 2 being Ariana Grande and the Beatles.
Wow.
And yeah. Also, I just want to mention Silk Sonic's like debut single "Leave the Door Open" made its debut at number 4, which is pretty cool. Let's go.
That's gonna be a sick record. That's gonna be a sick one. Really excited for that.
But yeah, that's it for the music news. Now we're on to movie news, and we got Oscar nominees.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I have not seen a lot of movies this year, and I feel really bad. I feel like I've tried to watch movies, but a lot of them haven't been like Oscar cycle worthy.
Oh my God.
Maltese Falcon isn't up for anything, right?
I don't think so.
You know, I don't.
41.
You know, I really don't think so, man.
I think you just missed the cutoff.
Fuck.
Yeah. Best Picture nominees though.
Okay.
We got The Father, Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, Minari, Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and The Trial of the Chicago 7. Makes sense.
All sound like good movies. I've only seen Nomadland because of last week.
Yeah.
Sound of Metal has been on my list for months, and that's all I know.
For Best Director, we have Lee Isaac Chung for Minari, Emerald Fennell for Promising Young Woman, David Fincher for Mank, Chloe Zhao for Nomadland, Thomas Vinterberg for Another Round. Oh, I'm kind of surprised Another Round wasn't nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Best Actor, Riz Ahmed, Sound of Metal, Chadwick Boseman in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Anthony Hopkins in The Father, Gary Oldman in Mank, Stephen Yeun in Minari. And that's it for Best Actor. And then Best Actress, we have Viola Davis in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Andrea Day in The United States vs. Billie Holiday, Vanessa Kirby in Pieces of a Woman, Frances McDormand in Nomadland, and Carey Mulligan in Promising Young Woman. Best Supporting Actor, we got Sacha Baron Cohen for The Trials of Chicago 7, Daniel Kaluuya in Judas and the Black Messiah. I thought he was the lead in that film, but okay. Leslie Odom Jr. in One Night in Miami, Paul Raci, however you say his last name, in Sound of Metal, and Lakeith Stanfield in Judas and the Black Messiah. Oh, they're both supporting
they support
actors.
Each other.
It's weird.
I thought Daniel Kaluuya was lead, and then Lakeith Steinfeld was co or supporting or whatever.
Yeah.
Who's the lead? Who's in that then? Are they implying that the white guy is the lead?
No.
What are they saying then?
They're both supporting act. Like they're
That's
just
not
they
how it works, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. They would both be lead actor then.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. I'm not the Academy. I don't know.
Best Supporting Actress, we have Maria Bakalova in Borat's subsequent movie film. Glenn Close in Hillbilly LG. I'm surprised that got nominated at all. Olivia Colman in The Father. What?
Glenn Close, though. People like him.
It's a woman.
You mean her?
Yeah. Damn. I sorry. Speak fast.
We have Amanda Seyfried and Mank, and we have I can't pronounce.
Sound it out.
I'm sorry, I can't pronounce their name. Ya Jung Yoon and Minari, I think.
Close enough.
I'm sorry, I probably just butchered that. My apologies. And there's a bunch more categories. I don't really feel like going into, but I do want to mention Best Score, which is Da 5 Bloods, Mank, Minari, News of the World, and Soul, which means Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross are nominated twice.
Yes. Yes, dude. I've been fucking with that Social Network soundtrack recently. That makes me so happy. I fucking bought it on vinyl. I'm so excited. I love it. It's so good. Oh my god, it's so good. I'm glad. The one comment I want to make, because right when you said it, I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm glad another foreign language film in Minari is nominated for Best Picture. I believe I don't remember what language it's in. I think it's Korean again. Might be Japanese. I don't remember. I'm sorry. What I'm glad is that I'm really glad that they nominated another one for Best Picture, because I know how excited I was when Parasite won Best Picture. I was off the fucking walls excited. I think the entire other server was fucking lighting up the fucking board when Parasite won. I remember I was jumping around my house. I was so fucking excited. So I'm really glad Minari's in that picture. I don't know if it'll win, but I've heard very good things about it. So
yeah.
I feel like they're probably going to give it to Judas and the Black Messiah, though. That's what I think.
I feel like it might be Nomadland, because that was like super well received at festivals.
I do hope that Chloe Zhao gets best director. I don't want Nomadland to win Best Picture. I mean, I haven't seen the other movies, but I think her getting Best Director would be nice.
Yeah.
Also, Chadwick Boseman for Best Actor.
Yeah, definitely. So this leads us neatly into the next story, which is that Riz Ahmed and Steven Yeun were nominated for Best Actor. And Riz Ahmed is the first Muslim actor to be nominated for Best Actor, and Steven Yeun's the first Asian American to be nominated for Best Actor.
No way.
That's good.
That's good.
That's good. It's just like, how the fuck did it take so long?
Oh my god. Yeah. Parasite cleaned up last year. How did they not have a single Best Actor?
They did.
What?
Like nomination?
No, they weren't. None of the actors.
Oh, they weren't Asian American. I'm an idiot. Yeah, they weren't Asian American.
But also, none of them were nominated.
Oh,
Best Actor?
Yeah, okay. Then my point. That doesn't make sense. How they cleaned up? How were they not nominated for any of them? How did none of them get like a nomination for that?
I don't know. It's just the Academy bad.
Academy bad. But,
I mean, Joaquin Phoenix won Best Actor last year, didn't he? So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know how much I love Joaquin Phoenix, so I'll go to bat for Joaquin Phoenix winning Best Actor. He deserved Best Actor that year. I don't really care, but I will say that I think there should have been a nomination for an actor in Parasite. You know, because there are several good performances in that. Specifically, the father. I don't remember his name. The father is amazing in that movie.
Yes.
The guy who's in a bunch of Bong Joon-ho flicks.
Yeah. We should just look up his name right now.
We have the internet.
We have the internet. It is Song Kang-ho.
Yeah, he was amazing in that movie. He should have at least gotten a nomination.
Yeah,
I don't remember who got nominated for that. Joaquin Phoenix. I saw Brendan's face when I said it. Joaquin Phoenix deserved to win that award, but
he did a great job in that role. Like, he's really great in it. He carries that film.
Yes. I've said this. I don't really care about Joker. If it wasn't for Joaquin Phoenix, I wouldn't give a shit about it, really, to be honest.
Yeah.
Brendan. I just love that man. You know I do. I just love him.
All right. Well, this leads us into our last story for the night. Avatar has surpassed Avengers Endgame as the highest grossing film of all time. Got re-released.
I saw that on Twitter. It's so fucking funny.
It got re-released in China. Now
stupid.
It grossed more than Avengers Endgame. So There you go.
Why would you re-release it? It's been like 10 years.
Because
it hasn't changed.
Because COVID.
Oh.
They're like reopening movie theaters, so it's like, hey, come see the film that was big blockbuster to try and entice people to come back. Like, I mean, theaters are doing that with like Inception and stuff. So
yeah, I guess you're right.
There's something really charming about in this world where Disney controls so much and they have so much say over what's happening in the entertainment and specifically in the movie world, right? There's something very funny about this random James Cameron horny cat alien movie being the highest grossing film of all time and beating Avengers 10 years after it came out. There's something really funny about that. I don't give a shit about Avatar, but there's something funny about that.
Isn't Avatar owned by Disney?
It's a Disney movie.
Yeah. Oh my god, oh my god, I didn't even consider. Oh my god. No, okay. The fact that it's like an original, the fact that it's an original quote unquote idea, and it's not based on like a comic thing, and like I don't know. Fucking Scorsese won't get grumpy about it. That's what I'm saying. You know,
I mean, Scorsese wasn't grumpy about Marvel films. He just like it's not. He spit facts.
When I read it, he sounded grumpy when I read it. I'm not saying he's wrong, but he sounded.
He does kind of sound like
cranky,
old man.
Yeah, thank you. I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm not saying he's wrong. Okay, bud.
I've seen him say it in interviews. So,
well, I mean,
it felt more like he's explaining his opinion and why he doesn't like Marvel films, and why he
but that's not fair, though, Joe. But Joe, that's not fair because he's at an age where if he raises his voice, he'll have a heart attack. It's not really fair, you know. He can't get that grumpy, but he was
not that old.
I know he's not. I'm fucking okay. We're having a laugh.
Haha, Martin Scorsese, you fucking old piece of shit.
I didn't call him a piece of shit. No, I don't
you were close.
I was not close. I don't even think he's entirely wrong with what he said.
I agree with him 100%.
It's just reading the transcript, it felt angry when I read it. That's all. I don't think he was angry. I don't even think he's entirely wrong, but reading the transcript felt very bitter.
All right. Well, that's there you go. That's the news.
Wow. Great.
That was the news. Cool news.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go to the album.
Oh.
Yeah.
What album would that be?
The album I ended up choosing this one. It's White Pony by Deftones.
Wow.
Yeah. So Deftones are I forget where they're from.
California. Sacramento.
Yeah. They're California. Are they actually Sacramento? Wait.
I think so. I think it was Sacramento.
Yeah, I think they are.
It was either Sacramento or San Jose. It was an S.
Yeah, Sacramento. So they're alternative metal. I'd call them new metal, but they're certainly I'd say more on the edge of new metal than other bands in the genre, in a similar way to how like System of a Down is kind of new metal. Yeah, they make, or this album at least was somewhat of a departure from their previous sounds. It's a lot more, I'd say it's more experimental. It certainly involves a lot more very interesting melodic bits, and a lot of very long compositions in their songs, which I think it creates a very interesting atmosphere and feel to the album that I don't think many other new metal records really have, and I really enjoyed this record. What do you guys think?
I'm interested to hear Kobe's opinion on this album. So
I think you should go first, Brendan.
Yeah. Okay.
Is Kobe now? Oh.
Here's the thing.
We'll talk about it. I think Brendan should go first.
I am not in the mood for this record right now. That's the problem. If I was in the mood for this, I think I would fuck with it real hard. But like where I am right now, I'm not. This like just isn't my vibe right now. There are definitely some songs I like. Yeah, I'm into that. But like It just turned on and like this lead vocalist is annoying and I don't.
Damn.
I'm sorry.
I really love his vocals. I think they just very distinct they
in a bad way.
No, in a very
you know what else is
good
distinct? You know what else is distinct? Herpes.
What?
No, it's not. Like millions of people have it.
I don't know. It's distinct because you know you have it. I don't fucking know.
That doesn't make any sense. What? I have a head. That doesn't mean my head is like inherently distinct.
I don't know.
I don't know what to say to that.
You could probably switch it out with Mr. Beast's head and nobody would notice.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Oh my god, you do have Mr. Beast sort of look.
Ah, shit.
Ah, shit.
Damn.
Hold on, wait. I'm looking up the definition of distinct to see how bad I just got it. Yeah, recognizably different in nature.
That doesn't describe herpes.
Listen to me.
Okay, I guess distinct from someone who doesn't have herpes, yes.
Yeah, no.
But I don't mean... Okay. When I think of distinct, I mean distinct from like literally everything else. Whereas
if I had herpes, I wouldn't think it was a chocolate cake. That's all I'm saying. I wouldn't think that I wouldn't think I had freckles. I wouldn't think I had dead skin. I would think that's a disease.
Yeah, but you're not gonna like get your herpes confused with another person's herpes. Like
I'm not saying in the terms of herpes.
No, I'm backing you up. Like, I'm saying that herpes is kind of distinct in that way, you know.
And I enjoy it more of in this record.
Wow.
Jeez.
That was a bit harsh. That was harsh. I didn't mean it like that. Brennan, you
Joe
should
was actually
talking.
kind of expecting that you would like this.
Oh my god, were you? I'm sorry.
I kind of was too. I thought it would be like somewhat up your alley at least.
I also thought this would be somewhat up your alley.
Do you have more of it you want to say before I go into like touching on stuff? I don't want to like interrupt.
I want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, we'll go.
I think I'm kind of on Brendan's wavelength where it's like I was listening to this and I think it just didn't hit me in the right mood because I was listening and I was like, I literally wrote in my notes, Chino Moreno hit a note challenge. Like, it was, there are points where he's just like, you know how there are certain albums where the lead singer is like, his delivery, he's not hitting a note, but you can kind of tell that that's just not what he's going for on a certain record or a certain song. You know what I mean? I can't describe it. I'm not good at describing that.
No.
But do you know what I'm talking about?
Kind of like folk punk.
I know what you're talking about. I don't agree with that.
So, but what I'm saying is that there are moments on this record where Chino Moreno is just making noises with his mouth, and I'm like, what are you doing? What's annoying about this record is that I can't describe to you why this album didn't work for me terribly deeply. I just know that by track 8, I was so bored. I was like, please be done. And then there were like 2 or 3 songs at the end that are like more than 6 minutes, and I was sitting there and I was like, oh my god. I was like, please, I don't want to listen to this record anymore. And like,
damn.
And I felt bad because I went in and I checked how many listens people had to Deftones, and Joe has like over 100, and I'm like, oh my god, no, I don't want to get into a discussion about this. I was like, oh no.
Joe's been playing this album like all month.
I felt so bad because I was listening to it and I was like, oh my god, Joe really likes this, doesn't he? And I felt bad. Okay, I'm not going to go too deep into it. What I will say is that I didn't love it. There are aspects of it that I didn't mind. I think there's a couple bass riffs that I thought were really interesting. I wrote in several spaces that the guitar on certain songs is just gnarly. I think it's like really interesting stuff. There are certain production aspects that reminded me, and this might just be because I don't have a lot of experience in like alternative metal or really just metal spheres in general. There's a lot of production elements that reminded me of 9 Inch Nails. I don't know why, of like Downward Spiral type stuff. That I thought were like, if I was in a different mood, I would have enjoyed.
That makes sense. I think a lot of subject matter on this album is similar to that of the Downward Spiral. There's a lot of stuff that deals with like drug addiction and like abuse. That comes very like in the song Changes. Is it Changes or just Change? In the House of Flies is like about an abusive relationship, or Korea and Knife Party can be interpreted as being about drug abuse.
I mean,
for various reasons. Well, like Knife Party
Queen is kind of the obvious one. Also, Knife Party is
Knife Party's blatantly. Well, Knife Party's like sort of. It's more about like dulling the pain, essentially, finding ways to like escape.
Okay, but using drugs to do that.
I don't know. Does it imply?
I think I don't know. The we're all anemic part kind of. I feel like implies use of needles and stuff.
I guess that's fair. There's some stuff that like implies it could also be about like sex as well.
I didn't think about that.
Like,
yeah.
And come in and lay down. Now kiss me. Like. I mean, I guess verse 2 actually sort of implies that. Although, well, is it? Well, I mean, well, that's not really true because verse 2 sort of implies that it's about cutting rather than about specifically drug use. Or specifically, it refers to like blood loss or stuff that happens when you lose too much blood. But yeah. But yeah, I personally really love this album. I just think it's such an interesting like mix of these very melodic elements with the harsh sound of nu metal. You have songs like Passenger or Change that are, these very long compositions, but because of the very I think they're like very melodic vocals, but they sound strained, and I kind of like that about them. I think that works really well with the subject matter and how like what's the word? How like dark, I guess, the music sounds. It's a very like melodically potent but dark record.
I'm kind of with you on like the sound and the instruments and stuff. I do generally like that throughout the record. I think it can get perhaps a little bit one-dimensional.
I can see that. I think I'd say the first half of this album is not nearly as good as the second half. In my opinion, I think they do a lot more in the second half that really shows how the second half feels like a much more diverse and like wide range of sounds and ideas, whereas the first half is kind of just like it's like Deftones again.
Yep.
And I like quite a few of those songs, but I don't think they're as interesting as the second half. And I do think this album is definitely a bit too long. Like I think you could have cut a couple tracks from the first half of this record. I think it would have been better for it, but yeah.
I also I do think this album overstays its welcome a bit because, as Cody said, by track 10, 11, you're kind of you're feeling good on it.
Yeah. I do.
I said someone in my notes at some point in this, but what's funny is that like you can tell the type of mood I was in towards the end of this record, because first of all, one of my closing notes on my final thoughts area is I have a headache, I have a stomach ache. No context about what that means. But it's funny because like there's some stuff and then there's some other stuff, and then it's just like some of the notes as you get further down the list, it's like they start getting less and less cohesive and like conclusive and like specific, I guess. Not that I'm really good at being specific about music because I don't understand sonically stuff at the moment, but
you're doing great.
Like Korea, it says Korea is where I have 2 bullet points, and it says Chino Moreno hit a note challenge. Just really boring. I'm just really bored. I don't know.
Really?
And then Passenger, I wrote, oh fuck, it's fucking 6 minutes long. Can't wait. And I'm sorry that you like this album.
My man's a hater.
I'm sorry that you like this album. I was just not in a place for it, Joe. I'm sorry. And then, like...
You're so apologetic about just not liking an album. Like, what?
Don't be so apologetic. Own it.
Jeez.
And then, like, the last song in the notes I have are, oh my fucking god, it's 7.5 minutes. Fucking why? What more do you want from me? You've already wasted over 40 minutes of my life, okay?
Oh my god.
And then what's funny is that my closing notes, you want to know what my first closing note is after that? My final thoughts, the first closing note. Didn't love it. I think okay. To get on point though, I think you're you made an interesting comment in there about the instrumentation. One of the notes I did have, one of the things that did work for me is some of the instrumentation in here really does feel interesting. Like they had this some of the production I have issues with, but some points in the middle, especially the way they produce the guitar riffs on top of each other, almost like they're just kind of like never ending. It felt like to me, it's like they feel really thick and like heavy, and I think in some places that really really works, but in some other places the production was kind of a lot for me. Like one of the other notes I have is that the vocals, whenever the reason that to me it doesn't sound like Chino Moreno is like I don't know if he's a bad vocalist, mostly because I couldn't hear his fucking voice, because the production they do on this, they like coat his voice in a production in fucking reverb and stuff. Yeah. And like they like coat it. So every time I try to focus on his voice, I hit another layer of production. And it's just it feels like it's drooling production. Like there's so fucking much of it for me when I try to focus on his voice. And for some people that works. For some people, that's your deal. For me, it didn't work for me. I just didn't like it. You know?
Okay. It's like, I don't know. For me, it's kind of like complaining that like Travis Scott uses auto-tune. It's like, yeah, it's an aesthetic.
Totally fair.
Do you know? It's totally just fair. Like...
But like, if you're not into that aesthetic, that's a valid
I get it. If you're not into
totally
that aesthetic, it's just like... to me, that just like adds to the sound, and like... the record has like this very spaced out vibe in a way.
Yeah,
a lot of the time.
That's a good word.
That I think works well with the reverb. Yeah.
The bullet point thing that I sent to, first of all, what is a track on here that you don't like? Because I'm curious if we had the same one that was our least favorite. If you had to say one, because I know Joe, you like it, and Brendan, you're a little less warm on it.
My least favorite.
I'm just curious.
I don't know. Some tracks on the first half, Fita Syria or Elite. Those tracks are pretty boring, I find.
I don't know. It's probably digital. I'm not sure. I think it's probably Digital Bath for me. I just think that track is like just not interesting in its like chord progression and everything. It just does not work for me with the feel of the record. So
yeah. For me, I'm pretty sure it's Elite, and I think that because I didn't want to send these notes to you guys because I know that you want us to have our thoughts out here when it comes to talking to each other. I sent these notes to a friend of mine, Richard. I don't know if he wants to be mentioned by name. I sent him to Richard. He didn't respond. I was like, here's a sneak peek of my thoughts for the newest podcast episode. And my notes say, and I don't remember how true this is, but it feels accurate. They start off like this. Much more heavy metal than the first 3 tracks. No, it seriously feels like each track puts a new piece of production around Chino's voice. And then another bullet point, and then it goes in. I don't know where this one comes from. It's a page break. He sounds like a fucking Black Ops zombie. This one is produced to high heaven. It doesn't work for me like some of the others. It seriously sounds like the Black Ops Zombies soundtrack, and they let one of the crawling fucks get a verse. I do not love this one.
Damn.
It feels overly cruel.
I don't know. I totally get where you're coming from, because I have the same problem with the vocals on this album. Like the drawling, the way he delivers the vocals and that drawl. I'm not a fan. I think it takes away a lot from the record.
Yeah. I disagree a lot.
I know you do.
Personally, I think I actually really like Elite. Like, I don't know, all the effects work for me really well. It's just it's a banger.
Okay.
Like, he just goes.
He does go.
I mean, like, one of my other favorite songs is Korea, so I really like the very like heavy, bombastic sounding tracks on this record.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The effects kind of work for me. Like, it just adds to the aggression. So
I feel like this album is just very hit or miss for people based on if you can kind of get behind the vocals or not.
I think I'm in the same boat. Brendan came out of the gate and hit the exact point that I think I have, which is, I think if I were to listen to this a couple months ago when I was really in the mood for aggressive production, almost, like I said, I don't know genres that well. I would call this a pseudo-industrial album. For me, that's how it felt.
It has industrial elements, which I think is somewhat part of new metal already.
I think if I was listening to this when I was into, and I know they're not the same, so you don't have to jump on me because I like them a lot. I think if I was listening to this when I was really into my I want to listen to the Downward Spiral every day phase, which I go through every now and again, because you know how you go through those sorts of phases. Because it's a great album. If I was listening to this then, and I'm sure in a couple months when I'm really into listening to Downward Spiral over and over again, when I'm really back into that, I'm sure once I get back into that phase, if I give this a listen then, I'm sure it'll hit a bunch of different notes for me. I was not in a place to receive this album well when I heard it. It was a cold, snowy, I think Sunday morning. I was not in a place for it. I don't think it just wasn't for me on that day. But maybe if I listen to it in the future, which I might, because I know how much you love it, might like it. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call an album that you really like Black Ops Zombie soundtrack. That was me.
It's fine. What? It's an album.
Chino, I know you're a big fan. I'm very sorry, Chino. Okay, I'm looking directly at the camera.
If you're going after Radiohead or something, I'd be a bit more upset. But
okay, Joe, look me in the eyes. I'm looking the camera dead on. You know how much of a virgin I am. I will not get on Radiohead. You know this.
I know. It's just I think this is a great album, but it's I wouldn't consider this one of my favorites or anything. I just think it's a really album? It's between this or their previous record. I forget what their previous record is called.
Did you like their 2020 release Ohms?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I thought the production kind of sucked on that record. The sound and mix was just completely off for me.
Some people did like Ohms though, so
a lot of people did.
That is true. I was not one of them.
Yep.
You and Anthony Fantano.
Yeah.
Felt like I was going crazy because I looked into. I was am I alone in not loving the sound of this album? So I looked into it because big announcement. I use Rate Your Music.
Oh man!
Not because I look at the reviews. I look at the highest rated albums, so I know where to start when I'm trying to get into an artist, and I look at it for genres. Because, like I said, 3 times now on this podcast, I'm not good at nailing down genres, so I just use it for those things. I was like, am I alone in thinking this album isn't just for me? I looked into it. It is either their highest or second highest rated album. So I was like, okay, sure, right. Got it.
I don't know. It's fine. Y'all good to wrap up, get into some scores?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can go first. I'm probably the middling opinion here. Yeah, I mean, I think there's some good ideas with the instrumentation. Vocals really kill it for me pretty much throughout the record. there's still a couple tracks I can get behind, like Knife Party. I really like that track. There's like one or two others, but for the most part, I am not in the mood, not the vibe, really. So yeah, gonna hit this one with like a 6 out of 10.
Was Kobe's facial reaction?
Kobe's gonna give it a 1. So
no. I will. Okay. So, I think some of the instrumentation is really interesting. I think there are some songs later on that play with it a lot better. I think you're absolutely right. I think if they were moved towards the front of the album so I wasn't winded, I would have liked this. I would have liked them more, but they kind of had a tinge of stink on them because I was so not into the first 9 songs.
Can I just say, usually when I start this album, I like go from Knife Party and just listen to the back half of it.
Fair, totally, and I'll try that next time. There are some aspects of the instrumentation I like. It didn't hit me on a good day. The reason I gave a phase is because I'm at a 3 out of 10.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, King.
All right.
I liked the movie, though. Sorry, I liked the movie, though. I liked the movie.
We're not even there yet.
You suggested the movie.
No, I didn't.
All right.
What?
You suggested a movie, and I was like, that movie kind of sucks. Here's a better movie.
I don't remember what happened.
Wait, Brendan, you told me Kobe suggested it.
No.
Well, I was just...
Brendan said, what about
Kobe
this?
Kobe was like, I don't really have a pick.
On my list.
And I was like, here's something that I might pick. And you said yes to that, so I was like, okay.
He Venmoed me $20 too.
No,
okay.
It was 15, I thought.
Well, I really love this record. I think it's a super interesting mix of nu metal and with a lot of more melodic elements. If you're looking for something that's kind of angsty, a bit depressing, that also goes hard at points. I think this is a very unique record and vibe, and like I'd highly recommend checking it out, because if you like vibe with it, I think you'll really love it. I'd give this an 8 out of 10. I think it's a great record.
Cool. Yeah.
Took off my hoodie during that. I was so heated. It was really warm.
Okay.
Oh.
I hit my mic.
Glad you're warm.
I'm really warm. I swear. It's a rip in the armpit of this shirt. Do you see it? Hold on.
Yeah, let's
go. It gets more intense every time I sweat in it.
Nice.
Fuck, that's going in, isn't it? That's going in the podcast, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's here. It just happened.
Now your viewers and listeners get to imagine my sweaty pits. Don't do that. That's not gonna read. He's licking his lips, guys. They both are. Oh god.
All right.
Anyway, on to the film of the week, which is The Discreet Charm of the Bourgeoisie by Luis Buñuel.
There you go. Yeah,
I didn't take French in high school. Did you take French, Kobe?
I took Spanish, and he's Spanish.
He's Luis.
Oh, it's a French film.
It's French.
It is a French film.
It does have portions in Spanish, however. So
it does. He's I looked him up. He is, I believe, he's South American. No, he's Spanish, but he then moved to and became a citizen of Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it is a French film, so it's confusing.
It is a French film. It's a French film. It's about these 6 upper class citizens in France, and they're trying to have dinner together, and continuously are don't succeed at that.
There's some wacky shenanigans there.
They do get up to some wacky shenanigans,
and
like
hilarity
I knew this film was satire.
Yeah.
Going into it, I didn't realize it was surrealist satire. So
oh my god.
I had a great time. This movie's fucking bonkers. I love it.
Oh, it's nuts. It's off the walls. Get some buddies together at a social distance and watch this. It's bonkers.
It's great. Like, because it starts out and it's so simple because they're just like, oh, we want to have dinner. And it's like, oh, misscheduling appointment. And it's like, oh, we're trading cocaine. And it's like, terrorists are out to get me. And it's like, and it's like, what? What is going on?
Yeah, seriously. But the second place they go to, if you don't count the house, second place they go to, they're like, we want to dine here. And they're like, okay. And then they go in and they're like, there's no one there. And they're like, why is there no one here? It's a nice restaurant. Why is no one here? It's a Saturday. And then they talk to people. They are crying. And they go outside. And the manager's just dead. He's just dead.
Yep.
Sorry, spoilers for a fucking 29 or 49-year-old movie. Sorry.
Also, that's like 10 minutes into the movie. Yeah, that's not really 10 minutes in.
Yeah.
Also, yeah. Spoilers for The Discreet Charm of the Bourgeoisie. Honestly, right now, I recommend this film. Go watch it. Shit's great.
You should. It's really fun.
Yeah, I think how bonkers this movie gets is really its biggest strength, and it's like the charm of the entire film. Because like just like watching it and what's already happening being so weird and just wondering where it's gonna go next.
Yeah,
is so entertaining. You gotta wonder if they're ever gonna have dinner together.
You gotta wonder.
They almost do sometimes. Almost.
At the real spoiler. At the very end, they have soup. I saw one of them put a thing of soup in their mouth. I saw
it. That's technically a dream sequence, though.
Fuck, it is. You're right.
Yeah.
Fuck, so it doesn't count.
There's a lot of dream sequences in this film.
There's like dream sequences within dream sequences.
And they start stacking.
It's Inception.
It is.
Inception.
It's Inception if it's Inception if Christopher Nolan had a sense of humor.
Well, I mean,
it's a bit harsh.
Not really.
It's a bit not that.
But it's anyways.
Yeah.
You go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I guess we should say that this is a satire of the bourgeoisie, essentially.
Yeah.
A lot of the film deals with the attitudes of these people towards the world and also their fears, specifically through the dream sequences, which it's like I think this film does a really good job of showing how up their own asses they are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it also does a great job of showing just how fragile they are as well, as you're saying.
Yeah. You have a good example of that is you have that one dream sequence where they're at the part. It's the one where there is the dream within the dream.
Right.
The first dream or the second dream?
It's the second dream when they're at the party.
It's what's
the one where they're actually at the party, not the one where they're on stage.
And
it's the ambassador's like buddy's dream.
Yeah. And the ambassador like he's talking to the general, and the general is like he's insulting his country. Yeah. Not really insulting, he's kind of just stating facts, but like sort of insultingly.
Well, he's like, hey, your crime rate's really high. People die. 30 people a day die. Like that's insulting.
Yeah.
It starts off as his reading statistics, and then he calls them a country of savages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the ambassador tells the general the military sucks, essentially. And the general gets upset and slaps him, and then the ambassador shoots the general.
He literally says, "I shit on your armies."
Yeah,
it's bananas. And it's a dream.
And then the guy who is neither the ambassador or the general, he wakes up.
Yeah.
From the dream. I think there's also a really interesting sequence when the person. Oh wait, no! It's the dream. It's the dream that's within the dream. The one where they're at
stage?
Yeah, they're on the stage. I think that's just like a really interesting kind of representation of how they feel like they're just watched by everyone, or how the like people like look up to them in a way, and like how they feel really pressured because of that. But simultaneously, they're also doing all this awful shit. There's a lot of stuff that isn't like awful, but I guess is considered like taboo to some extent. Like they're having sex all the time. Some of them are cheating on each other.
That scene is great. What's my wife doing in your bedroom? Oh no.
The ambassador like sexually assaults a girl.
Well, actually, he's actually a terrorist, so she doesn't have rights, apparently.
He sexually assaults 2 women, essentially. He also kind of sexually assaults the other guy's wife.
Yeah.
Because he's like, please stay, and he like grabs her and like forces her onto the couch.
Yeah.
Then there's also like they're dealing drugs.
There's a lot of cocaine.
Yeah, they're blatantly
a lot of cocaine.
They're blatantly corrupt. There's also like the preacher, who ends up
murdering a guy.
He just murders someone. That wasn't a dream, right?
No, that was
literally
real.
We never see the priest again after that.
I noticed that. I noticed that. I was sitting there at the end of the movie and I was like, holy fuck, the bishop's just gone.
Yeah.
Just gone.
But yeah, he like kills someone because that guy killed his parents, but like it's like years after the fact, and also
they were like dying anyways.
The dude was dying, and also it was like, oh man, they're fucking terrible. I think it does a lot with exposing a lot of like the hypocrisy within their club, I guess.
Pretty much,
essentially. I think there's some really interesting parts. Like there's, I think, a repeated focus on how greedy they are. Especially at the very end in the dream sequence when the ambassador tries to get like a piece of lamb from the table while he's hiding from terrorists or insurgents or something.
Like
people who've
mobsters, just pretty much.
Yeah.
They feel like they're out of like a like 1950s mob or something.
The look on his fucking face when they catch him is hysterical.
Yeah. Also, something that's really interesting is like whenever there is a dream sequence, there's always people in it who are then like shown as other people in the film. So like in that dream sequence, one of the guys who breaks into the house, he's the ambassador's like butler or whatever.
The same thing happens when the lieutenant's like telling a story. Like those actors appear again, except for that kid, I guess. But
I think it like does a lot to emphasize how paranoid they are.
Yeah.
Like one of the guys who killed a bunch of people in his dream is it literally his butler. So it feels like he's literally just suspicious of everyone and anyone.
I think you both make a lot of really great points. I think it is definitely I actually did know it was surrealist going in, if only because I looked at what rating it had on Letterboxd, and someone I follow reviewed it, and their review was, what the fuck? But it was like a 4.5 star, which I thought was fun. So it's definitely a surrealist comedy. You'll be able to tell that from the first like 20 minutes, probably maybe even the first 10. It's very much. What's interesting is it is so pointed, and I love love that they are always sitting down to a dinner that they are never eating, because the content of their lives, the meat, if you will, of their lives, the event, the big climax, is so much less important than the build up to the perception of and during and how those things end and where they're going next. It doesn't matter what they're eating. It doesn't matter how it turned out. It matters that they're there eating. And that's, I think, why they are never actually eating the food. They are always arriving at dinner parties and sitting down to eat them and having them cut short. Because in their perfect world, that's what their life is. It's getting the invitation to dinners. It's avoiding all the frivolous bullshit chit-chat they don't want to do. It's just going to a party and being perceived as someone who goes to parties. That's all that matters. And their constant chase of these dinner parties and lunch parties is what powers the plot. It's what moves the plot forward, because the plot doesn't make sense. There's really no, forgive me for saying this, and I don't use this as a slight. There's no story in this movie. Not really. I mean,
the story is they're trying to have dinner.
Their story is they're trying to have dinner, and then they get arrested because they had cocaine. That's the story. Like, there's no real story. The point of the movie is they're going to dinner. They're going to lunch. Oh, the dinner got cut off. Oh, the lunch got cut off. And all this amazing shit that happens around them, they honestly just seem too caught up in their own bullshit to even notice. Like, the lieutenant tells a story about his mother getting him to poison his illegitimate father, or not illegitimate, dead mother. His dead mother.
The ghost of his dead mother.
The ghost of his dead mother, who haunts his closet, convinces him to kill his quote dad, who killed his real dad in a gunfight. And he tells this story to the three ladies, and then he goes, "Can I leave?" And they go, "Uh-huh." Nothing. It's
like, "Oh, you're out of coffee too?"
It's literally, exactly. And and that's so many times that happens, because there are several times that stories are told and they just kind of look at them and they go, but it's not even just stories. Like, amazing, crazy bullshit happens around them, and all they care about is themselves, their perception, and when the next party is. And it's really interesting, and it's, to a degree, almost infuriating. Like, I wrote down, I was trying to bullet point it like I was doing I wasn't trying to go scene by scene, but I ended up kind of going scene by scene towards the end, where I was like, another dinner party. Okay. Another dinner party. Okay. Another dinner party. Okay. Another dinner party. And like, it just cascades, and it's really well done. Like, it's really good.
Yeah. The way this movie just kind of goes off the rails is like really fun. Again, also it's like comments and critiques on the elite. Also good. I mean, it kind of starts off right off the bat criticizing them. So, well, happy about that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. There's it's funny because, like, I'm trying to think, where was I going with that? Oh my god, I had a thought, I swear to god. Joe, go ahead and say something, because I was thinking of something.
One thing that I also like is, as the film goes along, especially when you get into dream sequences, you get a lot more into like their headspace, essentially, and kind of more into what they actually think and believe. So like at the very end in the dream sequence with the ambassador, at one point they're talking about like a Nazi general, and he was like, "Oh, I met him. He was nice. He was a good person. Why you don't have to call him like forget what they called him, like
a butcher.
Butcher. You know, it's a bit harsh for someone who was so nice."
Yeah.
And just like that being it's not necessarily something he would say at the dinner, but it's like something he's thinking subconsciously, and that he's like okay with it. It just gets you into their actual thoughts about stuff, and I think it kind of makes you realize that they don't, or well, A, they don't care, but B, like they're always obfuscating what they actually believe and care about.
Mm-hmm. The filters are always there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's another like thing. It happens. I don't remember how many times it happens, but the most distinct time I remember it happening is right at the end when, and I don't think it's a dream sequence, but you can correct me if I'm wrong. It's just revealed that the sergeant isn't actually dead, and he walks in, and the detective is like, or the inspector, as they call him in France, they're like, I thought you let out the prisoners. And he was like, why would I do that? And he's like, I don't fucking know. I just dreamed you did. And then he gets a call from the minister. Not the ambassador, but the minister. Exactly. Thank you. Yeah. And he's like, you need to let the ambassador and his buddies out of jail. And he goes, why? And there's this almost like a jet engine in your ear.
It's supposed to be an airplane.
Yeah. And it's like bafflingly loud. And the inspector goes, what'd you say? And he says it again, but this time it's that diegetic. It's non-diegetic. It's just for us. It's not them. They can't hear it. And so then the inspector goes, okay, I'll let him out. So, and that happens a different time in the movie. That happens earlier in the movie too, when they're explaining something else. I don't remember what though. And it's that idea of rich people or upper class people, upper middle class, lower upper class, that sort of crust, right? That sector. They do what they want. They live frivolously. They do bullshit. They cheat. They lie. They have corrupt countries. They are anti-Semitic, even if it's silently. They're frivolous, superficial, face value, boring, awful humans. And they are allowed to get away with it. And common folk like us, common folk, are not even privy to the conversation, and they don't want us to be privy to the conversation, right? I just thought that was interesting because that happens like twice at least.
Okay, that's interesting because within that scene when the ambassador is being let out, I kind of took it as meaning like whatever like explanation they gave was essentially bullshit and it didn't matter. It was just they're rich so they can get out, basically.
Yeah.
It's not for a legitimate reason.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Also, I don't think it was on purpose, but the second time the minister was giving the explanation, he was like doing this, and I was like, is he like making like a jerk off motion? I was like, is he just like self-flagellating? Like, is that what that is?
Like, I thought you meant he was waving his hand enough that he was creating the jet engine sound.
Because it was like I think he was like talking like this, but it kind of looked like he was like making a jerk off motion.
Yeah, it did.
But I think actually kind of adds to it. Like actually, I think that somewhat adds to like the idea that it's like it doesn't matter. Like they can just get out, and because the minister is part of that. Like society, Joker.
Said the word.
He said the word, and the podcast
because he's part of that part of society. It like it doesn't. He it's like self. I don't know.
I mean, let's be honest here. That minister is probably getting cocaine from these guys, so
yeah,
makes sense. Gotta help your buddies.
It's a circle jerk.
It is,
but like not the cool ones. It's like
they're all doing cocaine. That sounds
It's and there's it's funny because early in the first shot at the ministry or the help me out here.
Where the ambassador's place?
The ambassador's place.
The embassy.
The embassy.
I don't remember if it was which one? Is it his house or is it the embassy?
No, it's the embassy. You're right. It's the embassy. They're at the embassy of Miranda, and his buddies walk in, And there's a moment, and I might be misquoting because I watched it a couple hours ago, and it was one of the first scenes in the movie, and it fucking unfolds from there. So I might have forgotten it exactly. But he's walking around, and he goes to a safe, and he takes out the bag that has a bunch of like padlocks on it full of cocaine. And he goes, they stopped ambassadors at the checkpoints. It's like, it's ridiculous. Why would they stop ambassadors? And then he pulls out a bunch of mounds of cocaine.
Yeah.
And you look at that, and for a second I was like, did he confiscate that? And then as it got on, I was like, no, that's just his.
Yeah. At first I was like, oh, is he like complaining the ambassadors were smuggling cocaine? Like, how could he do that?
Yeah.
Then he just pulls it out casually.
He just got it. He just got it.
Yeah.
And so casually they go, he's got 5 kilos in there. And I'm like, he's got 5 whatos?
Yeah. And they try a little bit, you know?
Yeah. It's a movie about dumb, fragile, insecure people doing dumb, fragile, insecure things. And that's it. And not suffering the consequences for being bad people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good movie.
Yeah,
really good movie. Really good movie. And
I wonder if this is Elon Musk's second favorite movie. Right after Parasite.
Right, maybe.
Wait, what did you say?
I wonder if this is Elon Musk's second favorite movie.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Oh my god, I didn't realize Elon Musk's favorite movie was Parasite.
I don't think it's his favorite. He just said like Parasite was really amazing.
Does he not get it?
Yeah, probably.
He's got such a big brain though. How does he not get it?
Yeah.
Guys, there's 3 people here. I'm the stupidest of the 3 of us, and I got Parasite. How does Elon Musk not get it?
Elon Musk is not that smart. He's a businessman. He understands business well. He's kind of a fucking idiot.
He was given a bunch of money by his dad, who did a bunch of really shady shit in South Africa.
He's really good at taking credit for work that engineers do.
Yeah. Which is
ironic. Really wants to go to Mars.
Which is ironic because he owns a company named after a genius whose ideas were stolen and whitewashed by Thomas Edison.
Yeah.
He you know what it is? He's immune to irony. And he also,
oh my god.
He also mocks like the idea of pronouns, but he's married to Grimes.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure he uses they them. Am I wrong?
I don't know. There's he posted a meme on Twitter and everyone was just like, what do you mean by this? It was like but it was about like pronouns and stuff, and it's just like, what? This doesn't mean anything. What are you talking about? Dude, he literally retweets Babylon Bee articles. He's like, whoa, look at how cool this article is, and it's like, whoa, the article will literally be like, the Babylon Bee is a quote unquote satire website, but the article is just like, whoa, Elon Musk's cool rockets took us to Mars. Whoa. That's basically the articles.
Elon Musk is what happens when you give one of those like centrists on Facebook that your uncle is friends with. If you gave them $1 billion, that's Elon Musk.
And they really wanted to go to Mars.
Yeah. I don't think Grimes is non-binary, but I'm pretty sure they are at least an advocate for LGBTQ plus.
Oh
rights.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure they are at least outwardly for that. And Elon Musk is a chud. So, is it the accent? Is it the fact that he always kind of looks like he just smelled a fart? Like, I don't get it. Sorry. What are we talking about? Sorry.
I think we should get into scores for the film then.
Yeah, Elon Musk, 2 out of 10.
Easily a 2 out of 10.
Damn, generous.
To be fair, he is pushing the battery industry.
Yeah, but it's because it makes money. Which I guess, I don't know.
He's doing it because he wants to get to Mars. That's why he's doing it.
Well, it's because it makes money, though.
Just leave him there.
No, he... So every business Elon starts is on his journey to get to Mars, pretty much. Batteries are a step that he needs to get through, and he's pushed the industry so far because of that, and he's gonna help make the future possible because of that. And I have to give him credit for that. But this isn't the.
I just realized Kobe's frozen. Okay,
no, there we go. I was checking my notification. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I was being unprofessional. I got a text.
But what is it? I understand that, but it feels like the only reason he cares so much about going to Mars is because of money. Basically.
It's probably true.
Probably.
I think it'd be funny if, and hear me out on this one. I think it'd be funny if we go to Mars with Elon Musk, right?
Mm-hmm.
We let him go out first, be the first man to touch foot on Mars, shut the door behind him, and go, and then think about how funny his tweets would be from the surface of Mars. just imagine haha, funny joke, guys. Are you coming back? It's an article about his rocket, and he's like, guys, I know you can turn around.
It's The Martian, but with Elon Musk.
That'd be so funny. Immediately, they immediately come back, but he's like, I gotta start growing potatoes on my own shit. Imagine. It's a good movie too, by the way. I love that movie.
All right. Scores.
Scores. I'll go first. Fucking love this movie. It's so much fun to watch. It's got good satire in there, good criticisms, but most of all, it's just fun. It's absolutely fucking bonkers, and I love it. 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a really great movie. I think it's can be a bit. It goes by pretty fast, but it's definitely sometimes a little bit hard to get into at points. I think at the beginning you're not really sure where it's going.
Yeah.
Until you kind of get in the rhythm of the movie. It might not be as engaging as it could be. I think this is a better on second watch type film. But I still think it's really great. Some great satire, some pretty interesting, weird filmmaking. If you like Inception, check out this film. 8 out of 10.
Yeah. I agree with everything you guys just said. I think it does, there are points where you could argue it does drag a little, I guess, or it could be a bit impregnable at some points. I will say, if you want a movie that's bananas, this is the one. This is an absurd movie. I think, like I said before, get some buds, get a watch party. It's on Amazon Prime. You all have Amazon Prime. You can watch it, or someone can stream it.
It's also on the Criterion channel.
It's also on the Criterion channel. I didn't say that you can stream it, but wink, wink. You can't stream it. Wink, wink. It's fun. It's all over the place. It rewards patience. If you are not in the mood to watch a movie that is absurd and kind of not really looking to create a plot, this isn't the one. If you want just a really fun bananas movie, this is the one. It's really fun. It's funny. It's interesting. It makes a lot of good points. It's really weirdly, the camera work is weirdly pretty considering it's 72. The quality is really good. I don't know what if that means anything for you guys. I just liked it. Yeah. I agree totally across the board. 8 out of 10.
Yeah. All right. Great.
Cool.
Now for our review of Click. Adam Sandler's Click.
Yeah.
Fuck yes.
Actually, do you want to talk about Click right now? We can quickly talk about Click. I know this has been going for a long time at this point. The podcast this is one of our longest podcasts in a while.
I will say this. Sorry about that, by the way. I will say this. If Brendan, if you're editing this, and I'm looking the camera dead on, if you're editing this and this is too much and you're at a 2-hour mark, cut off the part where we talk about Click.
This.
I'm going to give you a part.
1 hour 40 right now ish.
Okay.
We're not
cutting out Click.
We're not cutting out stuff.
I mean, I brought up Click as a joke. We don't have to talk about Click.
If you don't want to hear about Click, stop watching the video right now.
I guess we're talking about Click right now. Okay.
So, I was not prepared for this, but Click's a movie about how it's all about family.
Vin Diesel in this movie, guys.
Yeah, it's a Vin Diesel movie, okay? And it stars German 985 when he pretends to be Vin Diesel.
Don't you dare bring him into this.
Oh my god, I'd love an entire movie where it's just Germa pretending to be Vin Diesel.
That'd be so funny.
Because that one time he did a Vin Diesel impression was fucking incredible. But yeah, Click is basically, it's a movie where Adam Sandler, he finds a remote and it allows him to fast forward and like manipulate reality. And then he fast forwards through too much stuff and it starts automatically fast forwarding and then he dies. And it's supposed to be like, you know, he learns that it's all about family and he's got to spend more time with his family. He's got to stop focusing on work so much. He's got to, you know, take care of his kids. But spoiler alert, he does, well, like, he sort of learns that, but he's like, it's really poorly done because throughout the entire film, Adam Sandler's like an asshole and a piece of shit, and you'd expect over time he'd slowly like learn that the way he's acting is asshole-ish, like he's just being an asshole, but he never learns that he's still an asshole by the end of the film. So I don't know why.
The thing is, I'm okay with that because he's a 2000s comedy lead, right? And that is just kind of how 2000s comedy leads are. I don't think he's not like an asshole by movie standards is the thing.
It defeats the purpose of the film, though. He's supposed to learn to be kind and be a better person, and he's still a piece of shit. He's just nicer to his wife and kids now.
I don't think the movie isn't trying to say don't be a piece of shit. It's really not. The movie's not like
this that. It's supposed to be like the night before Christmas. Not like, is it the night before Christmas? No. What is
Christmas
it?
Carol.
The Christmas Carol, kind of.
I don't think,
but like it doesn't.
I mean, it's sort of. Well, I think the movie is about
family.
No, it's about how when you work, if you focus, because there's the idea that, right, when you work for retirement or for vacation time or whatever, right, and it's the idea that you keep working for that and it doesn't really ever happen, and then you've missed so much of your life and the lives of those around you, and don't keep, you know, because he keeps pushing back goals. He's like, okay, let me get this small project done. Okay, let me get, you know, not be sick. Let me get to work faster. Let me get a promotion, and then keeps going. And so it's about, I feel like it's about just
work-life balance.
Yeah, work-life balance is the best way of
like it. I can get that. The problem is the film never actually addresses that in a meaningful way. It's not a critique of the system that encourages that behavior. It's not ever critical of that. It's literally just like, don't work as much, dummy. And, you know, if you have to work to not die or starve, just don't. Which is like it doesn't, it's contradictory in like how it works, because he's kind of right at first that he should want to work really hard so he can actually afford things that make his life meaningfully better. But
he's missing out on the meaning by doing that, is the argument that the movie's trying to make. Yes.
But also, it's like a really shallow critique of that. Like, it doesn't actually meaningfully address the problems that lead to someone thinking like that. Or, like, I mean, it doesn't even address the problems that lead to someone thinking like that, let alone the system that encourages that and sometimes requires that. Like, again, like, if he doesn't work overtime on that project, like this is a project or model he has to make at the beginning of the film. It's like, what do you think he's going to be fine at his job? Like, do you think he's not going to be reprimanded in some way for like not finishing on time? Do you think if he keeps up that behavior that he won't be fired? Like, you can't just have these problems presented and then not address them in a way that is meaningful.
Yeah. What the film wants to say is that you need to have, limits. But the film doesn't get into that really. And I agree. I think because it doesn't, it tries to make it about you work your life away. But at the same time, it doesn't really get into like you said, it doesn't get into reasons why people work their lives away. It just says kind of don't. But also, in a more general aspect, it's about, I guess, regretting how you've spent your life as well.
Yeah, I think that's maybe
I think that part works better.
Yeah, I think that is arguably the strongest point of the film, where it's like they're seeing Adam Sandler be like, "Oh my god, like I wasted my entire life, and I'm like a piece of shit and like terrible to my kids." I don't know why they're still in contact with him by the end of the film, but like it's just like that works a lot better. Like that's where it's like similar to like A Christmas Carol, where Scrooge like sees like how he's gonna be remembered and how everyone hates him and stuff, and he's like, "Oh my god, I gotta change my life now." But like in Click, it's just like, again, he's still an asshole, so I don't care that he feels that way. He's a piece of shit to people. He doesn't learn by the end to not be an asshole, so I don't feel bad for him.
I can understand where you're coming from. Click is a movie that had a lot of potential.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a remake of Click, but it's gonna be like a systemic critique.
Yeah. So weirdly,
it's gonna be, is Click a remake of Fight Club?
No.
It's a weirdly in-depth discussion about Click, by the way. This movie is so funny because if you look at it,
no, it's not.
No, not for the reasons they want it to be funny. Not for the reasons they want it to be funny. I'm not saying that. It is almost pitifully unfunny.
Oh god, there's some of the jokes that have aged very poorly.
So bad. But what I will say is that there are some moments where if you look at the plot of Click, you're like, that is a weirdly based take. That is so weirdly based. But you guys already talked about it. That's why I was just kind of sitting here and I was like, it's all there's like it acknowledges the idea of, in the system we are currently in, the society we are currently in. I said it. The society we are currently in, you work yourself to the bone, you work yourself to death, and then you die. But it never goes out of its way to be like, well, that's wrong. It's just like, no, that's the system you are in. Okay?
It's just like, it never...
Do it better.
It doesn't show those actions as being a result of a system that encourages them. It shows those actions as a result of an individual's choice to consciously make those decisions to focus on work more than their home life, without thinking about what happens when you do that, what the consequences of that are in a system that overwhelmingly encourages this kind of behavior.
Yeah. It's a 1 out of 10 movie. It sucks.
Yeah, really it's outside of like that. It's just like it's really racist and sexist a lot of time.
Oh god, the jokes are not good.
So bad.
Oh geez, what is the weird shit? Adam Sandler cares a lot about his daughter not having sex, and that's really creepy.
Yeah.
Like there's multiple jokes about it where he's like overly concerned about her, and it's like, no, how could you? Basically, like there's there's one joke where he's like, the dog, reoccurring funny joke, the dog fucks a stuffed duck, which is really, good job. You,
comedy.
A beak comedy, more like it.
And it's not even, oh, shut up. It's not even like a rule of thirds. I think it's like 4 or 5 times they make the joke. It's not even like a rule of thirds. It's several times.
Yeah, it's a ton. But when that happens the first time, he like turns to his kids and he like to his son. He's like, "You're not supposed to know about that for like another 10 years." And his daughter, he's like, "You not for 30 at least." And it's like, what? It's just so weird. Like, why are you treating someone like why the way that the film treats? I think it's going for like he's an overprotective father kind of angle, but it's like, why?
But he's also but it's like it is one of those things, and I know we're probably approaching 2 hours, and considering 20 minutes of it is click, that's really sad. What I will say is that it's not even like him trying to be a quote decent father by warding his daughter off of sex at a young age. It's like if he was a really good father on a lot of other levels, and he also gave that advice, it's like, okay, he means well by it, but he's an asshole, so it just reads as sexist and weirdly too deep and too intimate with your daughter who's 9 or whatever. It's so weird.
Yeah. He's an asshole, and he's also sexist throughout the film, so it's like, ugh. There's also like multiple sex scenes that are like the worst shit ever.
Really bad. A dog joins in on one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Have to talk about that.
Can we wait? It's like weird because like his wife is like, "Oh, why don't you massage me first before we do this?" And he's like really like turned off or annoyed by this. Like, what? Why don't understand this?
I think it's more about the sexist angle as well, because like, why should a man work to get his wife happiness?
Adam Sandler anti-foreplay challenge.
Yeah, it just is like weird. His wife is played.
Subject about Click.
Well, I just want to say his wife is played by
Kate Beckinsale.
Kate Beckinsale, who's like gorgeous, and I'm just like, what? Why are you upset by this?
What about this is bad for you? She's also like decently kind, and
she's
fine.
Like really nice the entire film.
Fine the whole time.
And like every time there's an argument, she's like very reasonable, and like all of her complaints are like very like normal, reasonable things.
Really rational. Yeah.
It's like
yeah, and it's funny because like this is the last thing I'll say about this movie because we do have to wrap up. Adam Sandler being so anti-foreplay is yet another reason why I believe that men in basketball shorts do not or cannot or will not eat pussy.
Damn.
And I believe that.
Damn.
Adam Sandler's eaten pussy in his life. He definitely has.
I don't know. Uncut Gems Adam Sandler? Yes. I don't know about Click Adam Sandler.
God, we're not doing this. We're not going down the list of Adam Sandler movies and ranking 1 to 10 how likely they are. That's next week.
Grown-Ups Adam Sandler?
Grown-Ups Adam.
Oh, man.
Grown-Ups 1 probably doesn't because he's rich. Grown-Ups 2 is more humble. He probably does.
I'm wondering where Punch Drunk Love Adam Sandler falls in that. That would be very interesting.
Crazy Nights Adam Sandler.
No.
Oh God, he's a fiend out there. He's a fiend. You know he does. Stop the podcast. Are we done? We're talking about Click,
okay,
please.
we should probably be done. Anyway, Click is a terrible movie. Bad. Don't
really
watch
bad.
it.
Don't watch it.
I like Christopher Walken, honestly.
Christopher Walken's funny, admittedly. He's like the only like not that. He's not like the only not unbearable part of the film, I'd say.
He leaves a note right at the very end that's weirdly voyeuristic.
Oh, yeah, he's also really like there's multiple times where he's like, "Oh my god, your wife is so hot." Basically, like this is basically what he does.
The character is written like that. I don't.
It's also
that was improv. That was just improv.
It's so out of character.
No, that was just improv. He just said that. He kept it in.
I swear, no, because like it's weird too. Because if I just say like, "Oh, your wife is so hot." Like just that line doesn't sound too bad, but the way he phrases it is like, "Your wife has such a rockin' bod" or some shit. And it's the creepiest. Like, why?
So bad. Oh my god, it's so bad. You guys need to do a mini series in this where you review every Adam Sandler movie.
Oh no! Oh,
why?
That wouldn't be too bad.
There's so many.
There's
so many.
He does have a lot.
Hold on.
It wouldn't be like the worst thing.
How about just Adam Sandler movies where he's like the main character?
Dunkachinos, like, come on.
A lot.
The Dunkachinos, I would be so excited for.
Oh my god, I forgot about all these.
Okay.
He's got so many.
Anyways. Enough about Adam Sandler. Next week we have a very special episode of the podcast. We're gonna be doing a Justice League the Snyder Cut review. We'll have some folks on. We don't even know who yet. We're gonna be talking about the Snyder Cut.
We're gonna have a lot of people on, probably like more than 4 or 5.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a lot of people on for the Snyder Cut. I'm excited. It actually has like all right reviews. I think the Metacritic score is like 51, and it has like 75% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That it's not going to stay that way.
No, it's like with 100 critics.
Not. If it stays that way, you can't do that episode.
No, we're doing it. We're doing it.
Psychos.
You're coming. You're here next week.
Come on, do it.
If I can find time in my schedule to sit down for 4 hours and waste 4 hours of my life, I'll do it.
We can do it on.
Are you free on Sunday afternoon?
Sunday, yeah.
Nope.
Damn.
Are you free Sunday morning? I'll wake up in the morning and watch it with you.
Joseph, I'm in church.
I do not believe that.
Anyways, tune in next week for the Snyder Cut. It's gonna be great.
I'm so excited.
Good night.
Have a good night.